Hi everybody, it's Mallory Smythe with Endow. Just this week, my husband and I were looking at pictures of dinosaur fossils. We've been teaching our daughter about dinosaurs, and I had been showing her dinosaur bones, and so he and I were having a more adult conversation about the dinosaurs. And as we were talking, I told him that it's things like this that actually make me question my faith. I just don't understand how hundreds of millions of years of gigantic lizards roaming the earth fits into God's glorious plan of salvation. And as I said this, my husband just looked at me and he said, well, God is all diversity. And so actually, him creating the dinosaurs only adds to his creativity, and it only adds to the dimensions of his glory. And then he looked at me as if he knows way more than I do. And I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about just how vast and glorious and diverse God truly is compared to what I think I know about him every day. And I have to wonder, the longer we sit in church, the longer we participate in the Bible studies and participate in church life, do we tend to become too familiar with a God that we truly don't know? This has been a theme in my life lately. I heard Sister Miriam James quote this very thing on a podcast, that we become familiar with a God that we don't even know. And then also, I was reading through the book Searching for and Maintaining Peace, and this quote stuck out to me like crazy. It said, "Nothing cools love quite like resigning oneself to mediocrity." And so I have to wonder, especially in my own life, as I continue to read scripture and as I continue to pray, do I paint in my heart a picture of God that makes him small and understandable whenever I could spend my entire life chasing after him with all of my being, and while I will get to understand the nature and character of God, I will never, ever fully grasp just how grand he is, just how other he is than we are. He says, "My ways are not your ways, and my thoughts are not your thoughts." And yet we sit in our pews and we think that we figured him out, with very little study, with very little attention, with very little love. And I know in my own life, there are many times that I resign myself to mediocrity, to being just a good Christian, a good Catholic. This is good enough. And in doing so, my love and my fire to know God and to climb the mountain of holiness to him with his grace, it also cools. And I find myself in a rut. And so as we're starting to leave the summer and we're starting to kind of go into another year of school, we're starting to think about these things, as August and September are making their way towards us, I just ask you, where is your love for God? How familiar do you think you are with him? Because if he saw it fit to let the dinosaurs roam the earth for hundreds of million years, and that somehow plays into his glory and plays into the economy of salvation, then maybe I don't know him as well as I thought I did. Maybe I'm not as familiar with him as I thought I was. And so maybe I can take some steps in my own life to allow that wonder to wash over me, and to allow the desire to know him and the desire to study and the desire to pray and to spread his word to be renewed in my own heart. So if you want to dive more into the nature and the character of God and allow yourself to be caught with the wonder of who he is and that familiarity broken, I would invite you to dive into an Endow study. You can learn more at endowgroups.com, or you can connect with us on Instagram at Endow Groups or on Facebook at Endow Groups. Have a great week.